Ricky Gervais has never been shy about criticizing Ellen DeGeneres, and this time his comments are getting people talking again. According to many online discussions, what he said appears to echo some of the long-running controversies that have surrounded Ellen's public image. There have even been sensational claims made by some individuals accusing Ellen of inappropriate behavior involving their family. Claims that have attracted attention online but have not been substantiated. So, what exactly did Ricky Gervais say? How did Ellen respond? And why has this feud become such a major topic of conversation? In this video, we'll break down the controversy, separate verified facts from internet speculation, and examine why the debate continues years after Ellen's daytime TV reign. For years, Ellen DeGeneres was the undisputed queen of daytime television. Her face was everywhere, and her signature message was simple: be kind. Millions of viewers embraced that image, and Hollywood's biggest celebrities eagerly appeared on her show. For a long time, it seemed like nothing could damage the reputation she had spent decades building. Then everything changed.
The Ellen DeGeneres show is facing new allegations this morning of rampant sexual misconduct and harassment in the workplace.
Then, everything changed. Stories from behind the scenes began making headlines. Former employees alleged that the Ellen DeGeneres show had a toxic workplace culture, describing experiences that included intimidation, discrimination, and other forms of mistreatment. Those allegations led to widespread media coverage and an internal investigation by the show's producers. While Ellen publicly apologized on air and acknowledged that changes were needed, the controversy significantly damaged the be kind image that had defined her career for years. Now, Ricky Gervais is once again drawing attention to Ellen's reputation. Known for his sharp and often controversial comedy, Ricky has repeatedly mocked celebrities and powerful figures in Hollywood, and Ellen has been among the people he has joked about. His remarks have fueled renewed debate online about Ellen's influence within the entertainment industry. Some commentators and fans argue that Ellen had considerable connections and influence in Hollywood during the height of her career. However, claims that she secretly controlled people or wielded hidden power behind the scenes remain speculation and have not been supported by credible evidence. As the conversation continues, one question remains. Was Ellen simply another powerful celebrity whose public image collapsed under scrutiny, or has internet speculation gone far beyond what the available evidence actually shows? That's exactly what we'll explore next.
When I say everything, I mean people. I honestly, everything about people annoy me.
People annoy you.
Oh, they're the worst. They are the worst.
People are the worst.
They're absolutely the worst.
But what happens if
this world would be better without them?
At the time, many people dismissed Ricky Gervais' remarks as just another one of his sharp celebrity jokes. But after renewed online discussion surrounding Ellen DeGeneres, some viewers have revisited those comments, wondering whether they were more than simple comedy. That raises a bigger question. Just how influential was Ellen during the peak of her career? To answer that, we've looked at public interviews, media reports, and the allegations that have surrounded her over the years to separate verified facts from internet speculation. As you'll see, the story is more complicated than many people realize. Point one of Ricky's recurring criticisms centered on Ellen's public image. He joked that her entire brand was built around being kind, while questioning whether that image matched reality. Like many of Ricky's routines, the comments were presented as comedy and reflected his personal opinion rather than established fact. Podcaster Joe Rogan has also discussed the controversy surrounding the Ellen DeGeneres show on his podcast, particularly after former employees came forward with workplace allegations. Those conversations focused on the gap between Ellen's public persona and the accusations made by staff. While comedian Tom Segura has likewise joked about celebrities and Hollywood culture, it would not be accurate to suggest that he has publicly confirmed Ricky's views as fact. The contrast between Ellen's carefully crafted public image and the workplace allegations became one of Hollywood's biggest entertainment stories, sparking widespread debate about celebrity branding, accountability, and how much the public really knows about famous personalities.
A lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that's people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
Dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
For years, Ellen's public image was built around one simple message: be kind. She repeated the phrase frequently, encouraging viewers to treat others with compassion, empathy, and respect. It became more than a slogan, it became the foundation of her personal brand. However, that image came under intense scrutiny after former employees of the Ellen DeGeneres show publicly alleged that the workplace behind the scenes was very different from what viewers saw on television. Several staff members described what they believed was a toxic work environment, raising allegations of intimidation, discrimination, and other forms of mistreatment. Those claims received widespread media attention and led to an internal investigation by the show's producers. The controversy prompted a broader public debate about whether Ellen's off-camera behavior matched the values she promoted on screen. While some former employees criticized the show's workplace culture, others defended their experiences, and Ellen herself apologized publicly, saying she accepted responsibility as the leader of the show and was committed to making changes. The contrast between Ellen's carefully crafted public persona and the allegations made by former staff became one of the biggest entertainment stories of the decade, leaving many viewers questioning whether the image they had trusted for years reflected the reality behind the scenes.
For Ellen as well.
Yeah, I did the first 2 years on that show.
And she was
rough. She was the C word. Yeah.
Was she just short with you? I mean, what was exactly
It was like
happening?
if you didn't pitch in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And you're in or out. So there's a lot of it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough bosses.
Yeah.
I wrote for Bill Maher.
Sure.
And so I was just tough enough, but then there was these first-time writers they used to cry. There was a lot of crying in the hallways.
Wow.
Many people, including Ricky Gervais, have said that those who knew Ellen personally believed she was much more difficult to deal with than her public image suggested.
Also, we will have a hotline number later for you if you have been sexually assaulted at the Ellen DeGeneres program, which everyone that has ever worked there has apparently been goosed in the dressing room at the Ellen DeGeneres. What is going on at Ellen? She's out there dancing, and in the back, it's a free-for-all, apparently. It's the Marquis de Sade is running around the dressing room at Ellen, terrifying the employees. I thought she was just a bitch. That's what I thought. I know people that know her, but apparently it's not that. There's sex deviants running around, and they're making people feel uncomfortable. They're sick. Get up how many people have been sexually assaulted, Ellen. I won't stand for it. I won't stand for this anymore. Do I like the show more now? That's the question. Do I like it more now that I know that Ellen DeGeneres has been running a room in the back of her fun, positive show?
But to understand how Ellen became so powerful, we have to look at where it all began. Her journey to fame wasn't easy. At 23 years old, she still didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. She painted houses, worked in factories, bartended, and even sold vacuum cleaners. Stand-up comedy wasn't part of her original plan. Friends encouraged her to perform at a charity event, and that's where she discovered she had a natural talent for making people laugh. Ellen has even said that she wasn't deeply passionate about comedy at first. But her calm, relaxed style connected with audiences. During the 1980s, she traveled across the country performing stand-up comedy. In 1982, she won Showtime's Funniest Person in America competition, which helped her get noticed in Hollywood. Soon after, she started appearing on major late-night TV shows, an important step for any comedian trying to make it big. Her biggest breakthrough came in 1994 when ABC gave her her own sitcom, Ellen. She played a quirky bookstore owner, and the show quickly became popular. Then, in 1997, television history was made. In the famous Puppy episode, Ellen's character came out as gay in front of the world. It was a groundbreaking moment that changed TV forever. After Ellen publicly came out in real life, her career slowed down for a while. She took smaller acting roles in films that didn't have much success. During that same period, her partner at the time, actress Anne Heche, also experienced a decline in her career. Years later, Heche spoke publicly about the challenges they faced during their relationship.
I did too, except I couldn't see the end of it because they ushered Ellen and me out of the premiere before it ended, put us in a car and said, well, we don't want you back here. We will not be accepting pictures of you and Ellen. And then I was fired. I was told before I went to the premiere with Ellen that I would be fired. And I was...
Are we talking about 90...
now you're going to put years on... yes.
Early, there was 2 volcanoes, Dante's Peak,
yeah, but they came out the same week.
Right.
Ours won, by the way, and then they blamed me for its failure for taking a woman. I was like, but we were #1 in the box office. The confusion of how I was fired and the fact that nobody has ever acknowledged it is just shows, in a way, it shows how much further we've come. Because if that would have happened today, obviously, it wouldn't happen today, and I feel glad that I'm a part of that. But yes, I met Ellen, just to give you a bit of a timeline, because it's kind of interesting. I think people don't understand how quickly this all happened for me. On Sunday night, I met Ellen at the on Sunday, I met her at the Vanity Fair party for the Oscars. On Tuesday night, she was coming out on her show. I didn't even know who she was. This is part of the naivete that led my life to such destruction or celebration, however you choose to look at it. I fell in love with the truth of what that incredible human being was doing. Then I had to be in a relationship with her, so that was a little difficult. So I asked her to go. Premiere. And then on Wednesday, which was the volcano, I asked her to come and meet me for lunch at the Four Seasons, and I was greeted by 5 suits. Ellen was sitting in a chair, and I said, as far as I remember, I didn't invite anybody else to lunch today. And they said, we know that you want to take Ellen to the premiere, and we're here to tell you that you will be fired from your $10 million picture deal if you do it. And then Ellen looked at me. I was sitting on the armchair because she lit a Four Seasons chair, and she said, do what they say. You don't know what you're up against. We've only known each other for a couple of days. And I said, I do know what I'm up against. I'm up against sitting in a room after you've just come out on national television to preserve the right of anybody to be able to love who they want to love. And now you're sitting in the soup of the demise of a culture that does not pay attention to that truth. I will take you to the premiere, and whatever those consequences are, my dear, I will face.
Heche said she tried to build a simpler life by leaving Hollywood, moving to Ohio, growing her own gardens, writing, directing, and living more quietly. But according to Heche, nothing ever seemed to make Ellen truly happy.
One Ellen controversy that isn't really a huge controversy, but has always irritated me, and I think it's the perfect way for us to close out this deep dive. During the pandemic, when there was a lot of uncertainty when it came to especially talk show television that usually had live audiences, Ellen made the decision to not stand by her staff, her writers, her employees, and she decided to kind of leave them high and dry without any kind of job, any plan, any severance, health insurance, nothing. And she hired a non-union company to film and produce the Ellen DeGeneres show from her home so she could continue to do the show while quarantined. The pandemic was already a scary enough time with so many people having housing insecurity, job insecurity, food insecurity, and to just drop your entire team of people who have kept your show running for so long is unprofessional and unethical at best, especially when you are a multimillionaire who could do a little something to ensure that your staff members will be okay until their next paycheck. Ellen's staff scrambled to find themselves work and new jobs, while Ellen sat comfortably in her home with her new production company, doing The Ellen Show. While Ellen was in quarantine and doing The Ellen Show from her home, just keep in mind, we were all in quarantine during that time. We all remember what it was like, except for our first-line workers. We love you. We appreciate you. But Ellen describes having to socially distance and stay home as similar to going to jail. Keep it in mind that at this time, Ellen was quarantined in her $15 million mansion with her wife, and that's just one of her mansions. Ellen has bought and sold over 50 properties in Los Angeles, and at one given time will own tens of millions of dollars in real estate. So really, if she wanted to, she could just go to a different one of her houses if she was feeling, so trapped and in jail. If she was feeling, like the walls were caving in her $15 million mansion. This did not hit for a lot of people, as a lot of people couldn't even pay their rent during the pandemic, okay? People were losing their jobs left and right. And it's just a very privileged take, especially with the fact that jails and prisons had some of the highest numbers of lives lost due to the virus because of the close quarters they were living in. With all that being said, I absolutely do not think that she is the kind, generous, loving person who she portrays on TV screen. I just don't think that she's that person. Do I think it's very telling of her character and her ethics and her integrity that she looks at figures such as Woody Allen as inspiration? Absolutely. That is nasty and disgusting. Ultimately, Ellen believed she had the privilege and the authority to treat people however she wanted, to treat people like garbage with absolutely no kinds of consequences.
Ricky believes Ellen's influence went far beyond television. He claims she had close relationships with some of the most powerful people in Hollywood. According to Ricky, those connections helped protect her and maintain the positive image she had built over the years. He has also suggested that Ellen's connection to Jeffrey Epstein's social circle was more than just being around the same celebrities. According to Ricky, many of the rumors people dismissed were believed by those inside the industry, including him. He claims Ellen knew more than the public realized and used her influence to protect herself. Ellen's former partner, and Haish, also spoke about their relationship. According to Haish, Ellen was driven by power and money and would do whatever it took to achieve her goals, so why didn't more people speak out against Ellen for so many years? Ricky's answer is simple: power. He claims she had the power to influence careers, shape reputations, and discourage people from speaking publicly. According to Ricky, many people believed Ellen had the influence to silence criticism.
The fact that there was such a conscious, deliberate erasing of what it was that I was talking about is what we have to look at. Not what was done wrong, but why we were not able to talk about it then. Why were we not able to talk about love? Has it taken us this long to be able to do it? So we're moving into a next step, hopefully. And hopefully I have some more intelligence, I know I do, around it because I've studied it to be able to communicate a little bit better about what happened 20 years ago and the fact that it's taken us 20 years to be able to be at a point where we can listen to the truth again.
And Ellen's fine. She can sit on her pile of money.
I hope you like your money because that's why I broke up with you. Do you like sitting on your piles of cash? Because guess what? It gets you exactly where you are. And by the way, baby, and it's what you wanted then, and I hope you're liking it now. Cheers.
You broke up with her because she had a lot of money, or you broke up with her because...
I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money, and mine was to find love, and hers was I want 60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on with this, the further we will be apart.
Okay. She didn't live in that loving kindness,
no,
did
she didn't. But you and I don't
if
talk
only
about
she wasn't a dick.
Revenge a lot,
No, we don't. There's one thing that I remember. There is one little nugget that I do have a sense of wanting a little bit of. I guess the only word is revenge. I feel that you were so wronged. And now to know that you were continuing to be wronged, it fires me up a little bit. And especially, look, when you look at somebody like Ellen, who literally is sitting on a pile of $60 billion and then
could feed countries.
Right. And then
but you got a Porsche.
I mean, you're not hurting.
According to Ricky Gervais, the reason Ellen remained untouchable for so many years was because Hollywood's system protected her. He claims that when he spoke out, the industry turned against him instead. Ricky argues that the same system has protected many powerful people by discouraging criticism, downplaying allegations, and looking the other way when influential figures were involved. But Ricky believes that protection is starting to fade. He says more people are now taking a closer look at what he claims was happening behind the scenes, and that questions about Ellen's past are receiving more public attention than ever before.
Ellen's longtime former DJ Tony, who was her DJ before he was replaced with Twitch, also shared the sentiment that the environment at the Ellen DeGeneres show was a toxic work environment, which is very telling because if you go back and watch the Ellen DeGeneres show, Tony always had a smile on his face. He was always as happy as can be, never upset to be the butt of the joke. He just seemed like a very pleasant individual. Many have also come to the defense of Taylor Swift, who had a very uncomfortable interaction with Ellen when she went on her show. In one particularly awkward instance, Ellen was playing a game with Taylor in which Taylor was supposed to identify all of the men whom she had dated or had relations with. During the game, Taylor Swift was visibly uncomfortable, on the verge of tears, asking Ellen to stop. And while I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, I think it's very easy to offer one another decent human respect. And if she was in a situation that she was clearly uncomfortable, Ellen had the power to change that, and she chose not to. And Taylor Swift was most certainly not the only person who fell victim of Ellen doing this. This was kind of her MO. She wants to make her guests feel uncomfortable. She wants to kind of harbor an energy that makes her guests feel like they're being put on the spot. Celebrity or not, media trained or not, there's just certain things you can't prepare for. And there are certain things that happened on that show that just genuinely did not need to happen. Ellen would later go on to address the people who were calling her out for creating a toxic work environment and for being overall problematic with the way she interacts with her guests. But at the time, Ellen stated that she didn't really understand what the issue was, and she believed that the entire situation was very orchestrated and largely created by social media bots. I could literally go on and on about the awkward and the controversial moments that played out on screen of the Ellen show, but I want to go on and talk about some of the strange connections and friendships that Ellen DeGeneres has off screen. One of Ellen's many friends is former President George W. Bush. Ellen and this former president have even gone to NFL games together. They seem very chummy. Despite the fact that while he was in office, George W. Bush fought very hard against gay rights and the right to marriage, and he shamelessly facilitated mass unalivings in the Middle East while he was president, but that doesn't seem to bother Ellen. They are buddies. Pretty much any controversial celebrity you can think of is probably buddies with Ellen. Now, there's two things that I want to touch on because I know that you guys will eat me up if I don't, and those two things are the passing of Twitch and the passing of Ellen's ex-girlfriend, Anne. So very briefly, in a nutshell, Twitch was the DJ who replaced DJ Tony on the Ellen show, and he was also a So You Think You Can Dance alumni. In December of 2022, Twitch was found unalive in a hotel room not far from his residence. It was revealed that Twitch took his own life due to a self-inflicted wound to the head. When Twitch's mother found out that her son had passed away, she was immediately suspicious and believed that someone had harmed him.
That still leaves a lot of unanswered questions. Some people continue to ask what, if anything, Ellen knew about Jeffrey Epstein's circle. There have also been several serious allegations made about her over the years. One family has even claimed that Ellen tried to take their children, although those allegations have not been proven.
Yes, it's one of those tearjerker shows. And so I just, because Ellen did two shows. She did one show where she kind of surprised them virtually with luggage, and they didn't know where they were going. And then she flew up into Los Angeles, and they just recently did an update on November 11th with a life-changing gift that she gave the family, okay? And she thanked your brother-in-law, Jerwayne, for his service, because he is a firefighter, and pretty much she thanked your sister, Shawanda, for, I guess, being of service to 5 children who were being placed in foster care and who were homeless. And she gifted them a brand new Hyundai Palisade and $50,000 from Hyundai, the actual corporation who makes the cars. And they actually sponsored the show. So they chose your sister, your brother-in-law, and thanked them for adopting. Did they adopt? Let me make that clear, because there's a difference between becoming a foster parent and adopting.
Well, they went through the process.
Okay.
Yeah, they went through the process.
And like, when you do your introduction, we'll get into how, like, these things transpire in the state of Alabama, so we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so, yes, I guess Shawanda and Jerwayne are adopting, or in the process of adopting and becoming more foster parents in their community. So I guess they're in the process of adopting your 5 children. And so that is a big thing to do, to take in 5 children. But in your defense, this is all fake.
Well, they have went through processes, but
okay,
how kids get in this system is.
So far, there is no confirmed evidence directly linking Ellen to Jeffrey Epstein. However, some people continue to speculate about her connections because of reports about their wider social circles. Some have also claimed that newly released Epstein-related files could reveal more information, but there is no confirmation that Ellen is mentioned in those records.
Epstein files were set to see another batch of unredacted files today, including 8 secret emails, both to and from Epstein, about a reported torture video. Well, President Trump's acting attorney general was told by a federal judge last month that the unredacted files must be released by today or submit a reason for cause showing why he can't.
Ricky says his opinion hasn't changed. He believes that no matter how carefully someone protects their public image, the truth eventually comes out. It might take years or even decades, but he says people can't hide who they really are forever. Whether that's happening now is up to you to decide. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.